to live with diversity is to occupy the middle ground. The middle ground is the ground which is the moral ground, the moral high ground, which is vacated by most people who are now occupying extreme positions. Extreme beliefs, extreme ideas, extreme religions, extreme everything. How do we occupy the middle ground? Living with diversity means to accept the stark reality, my young friends, that life is illogical, life is irrational, life is more emotional than reason, life is uncertain, life is chaotic. Life exists in the grey zone, in the middle zone. Therefore, there is no black solution, there is no white solution, there is no brown solution, there is no yellow solution. There is a middle solution, the middle path, the middle way. And as custodians of the middle ground, I also wanted to say something which I said the other day at the Indian School of Business. And I would like my young members of the Students' Council to understand that there is a difference between an intellectual and the intelligentsia. The problem with our world is that we've got too many intellectuals and very few intelligentsia. An intellectual is a person who is highly academic, has a very high level of cognitive intelligence, and his worldview is as fixed as that of a terrorist. He is dogmatic, he is doctrinal. He will not change. He comes to teach, to preach, and he goes away. And intelligentsia is also an intellectual. But she is committed to change. She does not take sides. She brings sides together in the middle ground. She is a change agent. In our country, in our world, we have too many intellectuals and very few intelligentsia. I want you to become the intelligentsia, to become change agents. As custodians of the middle ground, never take sides. Mummy doesn't take sides at home, daddy does not take sides. Daddy and mummy bring their children together, bring the flock together. That's what leaders do. Leaders don't take sides, they bring sides together. Leaders listen and reflect on opposing points of view, however galling they may be. And that is the tolerance level which as a leader you must have, of having the courage to listen to something which is very distasteful. As custodians, and I say this with all the power of my conviction, be pro-poor, be pro-weak, be pro-marginalized. Only then can you make a difference in society. And in my experience, I have seen that many of us, the richer we become, the colder the heart gets. Because we were educated for the head. Somewhere down the line, schools did not educate us for the heart. Education for the head can produce brilliant scientists, brilliant scholars, brilliant orators, who will use their brilliance for evil purposes. All the extreme ideologies of the 20th century, and the 20th century saw the death of 360 million people. Of them, 92% million people were poor, innocent civilians. And these wars and destruction took place because of extreme ideologies of great philosophers and great thinkers of this world. Whether it is Osama bin Laden, whether it is the guys who rammed into the trade towers, or all these guys, 26/11, 9/11, Sindhis and whatever you want, they're all educated people. They are educated in the head. And this is the sad part. And I'd like you to remember this when you leave the school. What can the student council do? I've said this before and I say it again. The head boy and the head girl must sit down with their team and take up an issue around this campus. There are a lot of poor people living here. There are orphans, there are illiterate people, there is hunger, there is poverty, there is disease. 500 meters from where I am talking to you all. Are we so insensitive that we can do nothing about it? All this brilliant intellectual power, emotional power, aesthetic power that we have together, can't we do something about it? This is what we are supposed to do as leaders. And not just blow whistles and say that come in a line or don't do this or don't do that. Or chaperone people or usher people. Those are rituals. Take up, decide what is any issue, take up any issue. Make that the mission of the Students' Council. Mission Council of the 7th Students' Council. Mission. What is your mission? I say to you, become activists, make a difference. This is your chance. You can win it or lose it. This is your proving ground. And I'd like to share with you a letter which Bill Gates' mother-in-law wrote to Bill Gates. When Bill Gates became the world's richest man. And she said as a PS in the letter, she said, from those to much is given, much is expected. All of you who are in the Students' Council, God has been kind to you. You have loving parents. You've got committed teachers. You don't have to worry about where your next meal is going to come from. You are specially chosen. Therefore, from those to so much has been given, much is expected. And with these few words, I wish Sumit Shah, Akruti Jagmohan and the members of their team Godspeed, good luck.